audible? Any background issues?
Yeah, so voice is perfect.
Okay. Okay, so recording option. Okay, you will do it, right? Let me share the screen. Okay, guys, everyone able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys, welcome to the session. So today is the open session 3, and today we are going to briefly cover this topic: satellite imagery data analysis using Python and machine learning. Okay, so this session where I am going to, I will try my level best to cover entire GIS and remote sensing, and where how this Python and machine learning is getting used. I will try my level best, and along with that, I will cover in the upcoming course of mine what are all contents I am going to take in each sessions. Okay, and what all the benefits you can have from that course. We will discuss that part also. Okay, so this is my plan. So in the last 2 sessions, we already discussed about importance of Python in space science. So this GIS and remote sensing is also part of space science, but not directly, but part of the space science. We have to admit, because the satellites or spacecrafts or flight vehicles, and which are revolving in orbits and taking images on the planets. Okay, so you can extend the idea of understanding geographics on Earth planet, about Earth planet, into other planets also, into Mars, into Venus, into other exoplanets. You just need the data. So how will you get the data? You will have the data from flight vehicles, That is why this GIS and remote sensing is always related to space agencies. Okay, space agencies, but this is slightly indirect. Slightly indirect to deep space exploration. Okay, so that we will see in depth inside the session. Yes, and we have also discussed about this AI and machine learning. What's all about that, and how deep space exploration as well as space science is getting benefit with this AI, and how AI is revolutionizing the current scenario of the entire world. So everything we discussed in the last session. So one thing is very clear: if we learn Python as well as AI, obviously we are strengthening our core skills to have a very good future. Okay, so this is the high level idea about AI and Python. Now coming to this one. Okay, satellite imagery data analysis. And like I told already, this is as of now in this session entirely related to GIS and remote sensing. And you know what? In ISRO, we have ISRO in India, so where we have a very big wing for this remote sensing technology only. Okay, we have ground-based observatory, we have satellites in orbits, which are constantly capturing informations about our Earth as well as all over India. Okay, our ocean resources, minerals, our energy sectors. So everything is under control. Okay, our security is always active due to this remote sensing. So definitely this is not a easy going topic. This topic possesses a lot of significance and very important. So I'm going to give you a head start in this session. Okay. So like I told already, I will try my level best to give you everything about GIS and remote sensing, and how particularly this is nowadays getting better and better with Python and AI. Okay. Yes. Okay, guys. So uh, GIS stands for Geographic Information System, and RS stands for Remote Sensing. Okay. So first of all, we need to differentiate what is this GIS and remote sensing. What is the main difference between them? Okay. So GIS is nothing but a software. It could be a software, it could be a tool, it could be a platform, it could be a framework. Okay. So it could be a wrapper. So GIS is something holds numerous functionalities. Okay. You can use those functionalities to do multiple tasks. So inside the GIS, we have a pipeline for many tasks. Okay. So those pipelines are collection of the data, storing the data, analyzing the data. Okay. When it comes to analyzing, we use Python predominantly. We use other programming languages also. Okay. It's all about data analysis, satellite imagery data analysis with or without AI. AI is also there. Okay. Finally displaying the data. Okay. So we are doing the analysis with Python, with machine learning for what? To show the beautiful, to show the interactive as well as understandable visualizations. We need to have the proper idea about what is going on there in visual. In visual, that is really important. So this GIS is a complete package or a complete tool which is fulfilling these jobs for us. Okay. That is why this is known as GIS, Geographic Information System. Now coming to remote sensing. Coming to remote sensing. It's a science of collecting data. It's a tech of collecting data. So we use high resolution cameras, we use spectroscope, we use radio sensors, we use laser pulses, laser sensors, a lot and lot resources to capture the data through the flight vehicles. We use the aircraft, we use the drones. Okay. So yeah, like I told, we use even ground observatory also to capture the data. Okay, so this is called remote sensing, to collect the data and to transmit the data. Collect the data and to transmit the data to the ground station. Thereby, they observe the data and they will process the data at the processing station and they will feed the data to the database. So this GIS system is connecting itself to the particular database and retrieve the necessary data what they want for the task. Then it start process the data, analyze the data. Okay. And extract the insights without machine learning, but Python must be there, should be there. Okay. To get the desired output. Okay. If you want to investigate the climate change, okay, the horrible phase of climate change, okay, you can definitely have the forecasting from those data as well as what is going on at the current moment. That idea also you can have. Okay, so we have one topic called change detection. We have a topic called land cover classification. We have a topic called food health, sorry, flood vegetation health monitoring, lot and lot. There are so many applications could be done with the help of machine learning, without the help of machine learning, but with the help of machine learning, finally produce better outcomes than just using the Python. But image processing, when it comes to image processing, Python initially used. I mean, everywhere Python is used, and image processing ideas or the basics. Based on that only we built AI. Okay, so the image processing with AI is known as computer vision. It's known as computer vision. So this is the difference between GIS and remote sensing. GIS and remote sensing, people. Okay. So yeah, this is really important because we need to know what we are doing, what we try to do. We need to know. For that reason, I took a lot of time to explain the basics. Okay. Then, yeah, key components of GIS. Key components of GIS. Okay. So what do you mean by this? So what all the key components we covered? Like I told already, hardware must be there, software must be there, data must be there. Okay. So coming to hardware, definitely it related to the information storing medium, information capturing medium, which is there inbuilt within the flight vehicles, obviously. But coming to softwares, one second. Coming to softwares, yeah, definitely we need a powerful machine. What do you mean by powerful machine? A personal computer, a laboratory computer with highest configuration, with more processing unit, with more like RAM, okay, with graphic support. So this is called high power machines. And where you must be having the GIS package, the complete package. Okay. And most importantly, you need a data. You need data. Okay, so that data is in two type usually. That data is in two type usually, which is raster data and vector data. Raster data and vector data. So these two types of data is known as, I mean, commonly known as geospatial data. Geospatial data. Okay. So geospatial data, what are the different two types? Raster data and vector data. So we will have a detailed slides for those two types upcoming. Okay. Now, what are the different GIS softwares nowadays available? So many softwares are coming up. Some of the softwares are open source. Some of the softwares are yeah, paid source. Okay. And yeah, obviously, when it comes to having a good career in remote sensing companies, GIS companies, you must be having expert level, at least intermediate level of knowledge about any one of this GIS software, any one of this GIS software, such as ArcGIS, QGIS, okay, CrashGIS, and there are so many softwares out there. We must be having some experience on there, okay, in there. And this GIS software coming up with so many methods and techniques, okay, so many methods and techniques where we predominantly adapt AI predominantly. Okay, so geostatistics, spatial analysis, geoprocessing, network analysis, a lot and lot. So these are all entirely related to data analysis. Okay, so in data analysis, I mean an ordinary data analysis, if you want to learn some basics regarding the statistics, okay, these are all the topics come up there. Okay, maybe those topics when come to particularly applicable to geographic information, some alias added in front like geo like that. Okay, this is the only difference. So everything, I mean, got revolved around data science, data science, data science. That is why the data science nowadays becoming booming, becoming very, very peculiar and booming like anything. Okay, got it. So this is called key components of geographic information systems. Okay, so now you got the complete idea, right? What is GIS and what is remote sensing? I hope you got the complete idea. Now, how exactly, how exactly deep space exploration differ than GIS and RS? I mean, this geographic information system and remote sensing. How exactly it differs? See, this GIS and RS somehow limited to our planet. Okay, we are investigating the structure of our planet, minerals of our planet, geography of our planet. But this GIS, by using this GIS, we are not actually exploring other planets, but we can see whatever we are learning regarding GIS about Earth, that same idea we can apply on other planets. Okay, if we have the data, if we have the resource, that's what exactly nowadays NASA is doing, all space agencies doing, even the satellites which is revolving Mongolian is doing, and satellite which is revolving Lunar is doing. Okay, this is what exactly they are doing. This is called space sensing, slightly different than remote sensing. And when it comes to deep space exploration, we have to explore other celestial objects such as celestial stars, galaxies, a lot of wandering elements such as asteroid, comets, meteors. We have to explore that too. That is totally, I mean, that is possible, but we are not actually using these techniques to do that. Okay, the underlying principle is same, but the methods and techniques are a little bit different. The line principle is nothing but using electromagnetic spectrum through the different spectrum, have the images and just apply the data science on it. But the methodology, the technique is slightly different. So this is the difference between how to use exactly AI on deep space exploration and how to use the AI into through GIS and remote sensing. This is the exact difference, people. But you know what? More companies comparable to, in my opinion, even in India, more companies having their research wing, having their product development wing, okay, everything related to remote sensing. Even space companies, okay, having at least only one wing related to remote sensing. Okay, they might not be having wing for all other components or all other part of the space, but they must be having a wing related to remote sensing. Okay, it's guaranteed, right? Okay, so this is how GIS RS differs than space survey. I mean deep space exploration. Okay, now let's come back into GIS. So, like I told already, data is very important for GIS, and this data is known as geospatial data. Geospatial data, okay? Geospatial data, and predominantly it is divided into two types, but the collective difference is three. I mean, collective division is three: raster data, vector data, tabular data with spatial attributes. Raster data, vector data, tabular data with spatial attributes. Okay. So raster data. What do you mean by raster data? See, there's an image. So when it comes to image, for example, take a 2D image. Spatial dimensions are nothing but height and width, right? So just imagine we have a height 10 unit and we have a width 10 unit. So totally how many pixels we do have in that 2D image? 100 pixels. 100 pixels, okay? So in those 100 pixels, grid of cells are known as certain regions, certain positions, certain regions. For example, um, out of 100 pixels, if 50 pixels, okay, 50 pixels are trying to locate the particular region, okay, or a particular feature, for example, a mountain, we are like taking the elevation of the mountain and its nearest bed, okay, and definitely mountain in the elevation gives different color and beds are giving the different color. Maybe the beds are giving the green color, mountain is giving a black color. So these pixels are like giving the black nature. Maybe 50 pixels correlated together in the closure, giving black nature, and I mean black color, and other part of the pixels in the surroundings giving the green color. Okay, so this is called raster data. You would get the difference in colors or the contrast variation, okay, between the pixels. Coming to vector data, okay, how we can understand this in very simple. Vector data. So there's a table in front of you. Okay, just imagine there's a table in front of you, and you are just having map chart in front of you. Maybe the world map in front of you. Okay, on a table, and you have a round pin. Okay, round pin. So you want to locate the portion where we have a coal mine, for example. You want to locate the portion where you want the coal mines out there. Okay. So you use your round pin and just place the round pin on wherever you find the coal mines. Okay. So these round pins are nothing but locations, references, coordinates, features, okay, which are nothing but data. So we have a basic reference there. So this reference is known as shapefile. The shapefile here is nothing but the world map, the chart. You use some external data which are trying to, which are totally relevant to certain perspective. Here our perspective, goal here is to locate the gold mine, coal mine. So you need to know, right, wherever we have the coal mine. So you would use the round pin to locate the coal mine. So this is called vector data. Okay, this is called vector data. This is not an image. Vector data is not an image. Vector data is an indication what you are doing on a shape file. Shape file could be anything. Indication what you are doing. So these indications are in points or in lines. Say a river, you want to locate the river, you have to draw the line, okay, or some polygons, mostly polygons. If you want to differentiate the continents, you have to give the polygons, right? So this is called vector data. And tabular data is nothing but the data coming in spreadsheet, the data coming in CSV, okay, where we have data relevant to the locations, references, coordinates, okay. So these are tabular data. That is why we have here three distinct categories: raster data, vector data, and tabular data. Okay. Now things will be easier. Check out this one. Okay. See here the raster image. Okay. So it's now a 2D image. Just imagine it's now a 2D image, and we have number of cells there. Number of pixels. Okay. And the lake portion, okay, lake portion, and the channel comes out of the lake, or here mentioned in blue, and the grass learned mentioned in like what is that color? Some, I don't know what's that color, maybe orange, light orange, okay, light orange color. And we have a green colors pixels, and we have a light green pixels. Okay, so this is how you would get the raster data. But comes to vector data, sceneries are different. See, you are using lines there, you are using polygons there, okay, to represent the information, Okay, so this is the difference between raster and vector data, people. So very, very important for the point of understanding what is geospatial data. Why we need geospatial data? Because geographic information system feed on data, needs data. Okay. The data what we are feeding there is geospatial data. Okay. Now you might wonder where from we would get the geospatial data, right? We will have the geospatial data through satellite imagery. Okay, that's what we are going to check. So before that, so what are the different extensions out there? Because we need to know about different extensions, because this is the current trend. So GeoTIFF is the mostly used extensions in raster. JPEG, PNG, GF. See, everything is related to image. Okay, everything is related to image, but comes to vector file formats, JSON. Okay, JSON usually holds information. Okay, and shape file. Okay, see shape file, KML, GML, geo package. So these are all the different extensions. SVG is part of CSV. Okay, these are all the extensions. So this is the difference, people, between raster and vector file formats, and this is very important. So once this is done, I will be getting to satellite imagery. Okay. Yes. So aligning raster and vector data. So this is one of the trick, as well as very important technique. Okay, trick as well as technique. So in one hand we have a raster data, in another hand we have a vector data. If we are able to align it properly, we can have the three-dimensional model of the complete geography. Okay, what do you want? If you want to know everything about the earth, in one hand you need to have a raster data, in one hand you need to have vector data. Put it together, you would be getting the 3D model of the earth, everything. Okay, this time the raster data becomes a shapefile. Raster data becomes a shapefile. See the accuracy of the deliverance. Okay. So this is very crucial, people. So in our sessions, definitely we will check out this. Okay, and how we are going to do this. So we have to make sure the coordinate systems and projections based requirement for both the categories, raster and vector. And we need to particularly make sure, specifically make sure the georeferencing for raster data. This is nothing but how each and every cell in the image data is falling to the references or falling to the coordinates what we want. Okay, but you want that particular cell to represent, particular pixel to represent. That is called georeferencing, very important. Then vector data with spatial information. This is again making sure whatever we are having in our hand as vector data is correlating with the right coordinates or not. That's the check what we are doing here. Then overlay and intersection. Okay, we do the intersection, I mean overlaying. Finally, we apply the join, and you would get your complete 3D model of your geography. Okay. So here we are using GeoPandas, comes from Python, Rasterio, written on Python, JIDAL, written on multiple programming languages. Okay. We use these packages to perform these kind of methodologies. Okay. This is all about GIS. Okay. We haven't touched the AI, but with Python, what are all the things we can do? Okay. I am just doing that as of now. Okay. Yes. Now come to satellite imagery. Satellite imagery. First of all, what all the, I mean, we already knew, right? So I don't think you need the introduction to satellite imagery, because we use satellites, we use aircrafts, we use drones, we use whatever resources out there which capture your geography, capture your environment. Okay, whatever resources, everything. Okay, you can use it and you can obtain the readings. Then you convert that into images. That's it. You convert that into images. So what are all the different satellite imageries are nowadays available? Starting with panchromatic images. Panchromatic images. Okay, so what is this panchromatic images? See that capture a single band of light. These images capture a single band of light, typically in the visible spectrum. Okay, here comes the spectrum. I told you already, knowing electromagnetic spectrum is very important, and it's different spectrums. So we have a visible spectrum there, and so many wavelength regions are there. Okay, and so many color regions are falling within it. So whatever observation you would get in the visible spectrum, those images are known as panchromatic images. But the minimum requirement as well as the maximum requirement here, single band of light. single band of light. So it's just a 2D image. It's just a 2D image, single band of light. Okay. So definitely, when it comes to interpretation of a singular interpretation of a 2D image, it won't give you that much information. Okay. It will lose the information all of a sudden. Now come to multispectral images. What do you mean by multispectral images? This time you would use multiple bands of light from the visible spectrum and near infrared spectrum. Multiple bands of light from the visible spectrum and near infrared spectrum. Okay. So within the visible spectrum, we have so many wavelengths. Within the near infrared spectrum, we have so many wavelengths. Okay, you can choose any single wavelength. I mean, number of wavelength in different wavelengths. Okay, and you just take out the observation, take out the bands and stack it together. You can have the multispectral images. Okay, so you can find the differences here between the panchromatic images and multispectral images. See, the multispectral images look so blurred, but that is not the reality. When you go deep and deep within it, you would get so many informations. Okay, so many information. You are able to detect what minerals under 10 to 15 kilometers also. Those informations also widely available. That much level of reflection our earth would produce, the surface would produce against the sun. Okay, that is the quality, people. Yes. Now comes to hyperspectral images. So this is far more advanced than multispectral images because see the band, hundreds or even thousands of bands of light. Hundreds or even thousands of bands of light, typically in the visible spectrum, near infrared spectrum, and short wave infrared spectrum. Okay, short wave infrared spectrum, one subset of near infrared spectrum. Okay, not near infrared, this is slightly different. So you can have multiple bands of light from these spectrums. You can push it together, you can stack those together, and you can create hyperspectral images and see the quality difference. Multispectral image on a same region and the hyperspectral image on the same region. Look at the difference, look at the variation, look at the quality. Okay, but handling hyperspectral images needs high computation because an image could have more than 1 GB of data, 1 GB of bytes. Okay, multispectral images can have a data of 100 to 150 MB, and normal RGB image data varies like 1 MB around. Okay, so these are information, valuable informations hiding within those cells. So we have to apply the processing on it, image processing on it, within it, and we have to extract the information out. That's all about image processing. Okay, and then SAR images. Here we use radar signals. Radar signals will bounce back based upon the modulation differences. We got the observations, based on that we figure out something. Okay, that is called SAR images and LiDAR images. Okay, here we use laser pulse. Okay, laser pulse, and you would find the differences between LiDAR and SAR. Okay, this is how it would be normally. So these are all the different images you can have as satellite imagery, but what's most predominant, what's most important here? Multispectral image and hyperspectral image. If you have a hands-on here in this multispectral and hyperspectral, that itself good enough, okay, to investigate LiDAR images, SAR images, and panchromatic images. Okay, yes. And see this one. Yeah, we have a hypercube for hyperspectral images. And this side we have a RGB images, just 3 band. Okay, hypercube images are like I mean highly complex. We are not even able to figure out the bars. Okay, figure out the bars. Okay, the variation is entirely different. And coming to this one, multispectral and hyperspectral. Multispectral, we can easily figure out. Okay, like yeah, maybe 10 to 15 bands out there, 10 to 15 bands out there. But hyperspectral, okay, it's not easily to figure out. We definitely have a strong mechanism to figure out what is going on there. Okay, yes. Okay, guys. So far we dealt with what is GIS, what is RS, what is geospatial data, what are the two main types of geospatial data such as raster and vector. Then what is this satellite imagery? What are the different types of satellite imagery? Why these multispectral images are important? Why hyperspectral images are important? Okay, that's what we checked so far. Now we have a dedicated session for this satellite imagery indices. Okay, what is this indices? These are prototypes. These are prototypes. We apply some formula on those different bands, from multispectral or hyperspectral. Okay, we apply some formulas. That way we create indices for certain perspective, for certain objective. That objective would be like only focus on vegetation variation, only focus on flood variation, okay, only focus on climate change variations, only focus on atmospheric readings, okay, something like that. So this is getting very simple because these indices are available as an open source. So we can have these indices if we run a very small projects, and if we do not have a computation in our computer. Okay, we are going with very low powered machines. Okay, so we can have these indices from our open source repositories, and we can apply our image processing skills on it, and we can even apply AI skills on it, and we can try out some interesting projects. Okay, that also is part of the skill. So now, like I told already, satellite imagery indices are nothing but some techniques or some formulas we adapt to create a prototype to fulfill certain objectives only. So what are the different indices available? See, vegetation indices, water indices, soil indices, atmospheric indices, and these are all the prototypes. I mentioned here NDVI, SAVI, VARI. So each and everything having the description, okay, that you have to check because you will be getting this content, I hope. Now, for example, I am here showing you NDVI, Normalized Difference Vegetation Index. Normalized Difference Vegetation Index, NDVI. Okay. So NDVI values or varies between -1 to 1. -1 to 1. And we have here legends, okay, the subscales. So -1 to 0 represents water bodies. Here -1 to 0, the color given in blue. Okay, so we are getting the blue, all blue colors indicating rivers. Okay, then -0.1 to 0.1 represents barren rocks, snow, sands. So -1 to 0.1. Okay, we are here between blue and white. Okay, the blue and white regions, some blue plus white combined regions. Then then 0.2 to 0.3 represents lands, grasslands and crops. Okay, so we are here with this light green, then the dark green. The darker green region varies between 0.3 to 1, represents dense vegetation and tropical rainforest. Okay, tropical rainforest. So this particular data is limited to that objective only. You can't have the idea about other parts. If you want to know about the water bodies, temperature variations. That idea you can get from these indices because this is limited to certain objective. And this is also very, very important in terms of GIS. Okay? Yeah. Now, so this is the formula, people. That's what I told. So here I have given the formula for just NDVI, SAVI, and VARI. So formula is NIR. What do you mean by that? Near infrared. Red, what do you mean by that? Red band. Red comes from visible. NIR comes from NIR, but the wavelength is not mentioned. We have to give the right wavelength so that the particular wavelength related band only chosen. Okay, so like that we give the band and we just apply our calculations, apply our algebras, and we would get our final desired output. So these are all the different formulas, people. Based on that only we are getting these indices. Yeah, now finally, machine learning. Machine learning in GIS. Okay, machine learning in GIS. So, like I told already, when it comes to machine learning project, we have to start with the data. So far we discussed about the data, right? So just imagine you got the data already. Imagine you got the data already and you got it from a paid source or open source, doesn't matter, you got the data already, but please be cautious here. Okay, so don't just try some data and paste the data, I mean post the data in some standard forums. Don't do that. So okay, it's highly licensed one. Check if the data is widely available, it's fine. If it's not widely available or if it's related to certain projects, a friend of you giving you for trying something, please don't disclose it. That will definitely give you a very negative remark. Okay, so please be careful regarding the data collection. Then next thing, data pre-processing. Okay, this is where we start our image processing. Okay, so we can do the pre-processing in multiple ways: radiometric calibration, geometric correction, cloud noise removal. This is coming under the category of distortion removal. Mosaicing is nothing but putting together different bands and producing the indices, just like that. Then resampling. Resampling is all about cropping, resizing, rescaling, okay, normalizing everything. Then, yeah, radiometric calibration is all about calibrate your data. I mean, safeguard your data from the sensor errors. While the sensors are receiving the data, it add up some machine error. I mean, add up some CCD errors. So we have to make sure those error wouldn't come. Okay, and geometric correction is all about sometimes, like I told, georeferencing might miss. Georeferencing is a very, very important issue. Okay, that might miss in your data, so you have to correct that. Okay, this is very, very important. Once this pre-processing everything is done, coming to our AI perspective. So like I told already, AI is the one want to learn. So there are so many different types of learning is there: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, deep learning. Okay, so coming to supervised learning, we have to give the right idea about what is what. For that we need labeling. For that we need annotations. Okay, we have to annotate the data properly. So data annotation tools we have to use. And nowadays, people don't use the manual practices. People use AI tools. Okay, there are AI annotation tools out there which would simplify the job, but the cost is pretty much huge. You can't just afford it. Okay, when it comes to tutorial point of view, you can't just afford it. Cost is pretty much huge. Okay, and it won't come as free. But if it comes as free, the accuracy would be very low. You can't get the desired output. But the options are there. So once the labeling, everything is done, annotation, everything is done. Next thing is augmentation. Okay. Sometimes the data given to you is pretty much limited. That is not good enough to train the model. Okay. Maybe that is not the current scenario. Current scenario is all about dealing with large language models. Okay. So you would require very, very few data. Again, in order to tune the large language models, we need synthetic data. So data augmentation is falling to that criteria. But one thing is sure nowadays, even AI don't need so many data. It needs very limited data. That is happening nowadays unexpectedly. Okay, to be honest, that is happening because of the revolution happened in LLM. But anyhow, data augmentation is very, very important, which is nothing but creating more samples from the source. Maybe you are having a single image. You want to produce, you want to produce duplicates of 10 count, 15 count, 20 count, 100 counts. That is possible by keeping the informations with slight modulations. Okay, that is called data augmentation. So these are all the steps you have to do. Finally, you have to have your data. Then you are going for segmentation. Why this segmentation is needed initially? Suppose you are using your machine learning approaches, such as classical machine learning approaches, which is not coming with deep learning. Okay, depends upon your problem statement, you may need to segment your data, which is nothing but grouping your data into different classes. That's it. Okay, grouping your data into different classes. So this could be done manually or this could be done through programmatically. Okay, then feature extractions also similar to image segmentation. We have to apply some filters to extract the features. Then we have to group those features. Maybe the given image after the modeling related to particular case that is related to that is what. Okay, like that. Okay, feature extraction also we have to do. But this segmentation, feature extraction is not needed if we use deep learning approaches. Deep learning approaches because deep learning neural networks coming up with certain layers which do the segmentation, automatic segmentation, which do the feature extraction automatically. Okay, so we will learn these techniques when we will learn deep learning neural networks. Okay, then finally models. So we have supervised learning models, we have unsupervised learning models, we have deep learning models and algorithms a lot and a lot. We use it and we will just accomplish our task. But the methodology of adapting these practices differs based on the perspective. Perspective to perspective, it differs, which means case to case, it differs. Like I told already, we can do lot of objectives using AI. It is not meant for only one thing. It is meant for doing multiple things, multiple objectives. Okay, so if you want to detect the climate changes, you can use. If you want to just classify the land cover, you can do. If you want to detect what is hiding under the ground, you can do. Okay, material detection, mining, material mining, for that also you can do. And if you want to know about the health monitoring, whether the virus is spreading, whether the radiation is spreading, okay, that is also, that is also possible to detect. Okay, the radiation variation, the temperature variations, pressure variations, everything is nowadays possible to detect. Okay, so we use the same technology, but we modify the technology little bit, very little bit. But we have to know the technology, right? So we have to know the technology at first, then we modify the technology a little bit for the particular objective. That is how this AI works out. So learning the basics is not a toughest thing. So once you got the learning, maybe you do some projects, 2 or 3 projects. That is not good enough. Okay, you have to keep on stick to the race, keep on apply whatever you learned, keep on try more projects. Okay, even after you get the job in that particular field, you have to keep on try on a different domain. You have to get more experience on a different domain. Just like that, you have to keep on try on different problem statements. This is how only we can have the very right skills, very better skills in AI. Okay, yeah. So now we are going to see some case studies. So land cover classification. So here I have used SVM. See, support vector machining. Support vector machining, one of the machine learning algorithm. So look at this visualization. It's very good, very neat, and very accurate. We have a legends here, we have a labels there. Okay. So it is giving us everything. So we have used here vector data. We classified the vector data. Then we applied on it. We applied the classifications on a shapefile and we got it. This is very, very simple. This is possible due to AI. Then coming to object detection. Okay, see, this is actually maybe this image taken from the drone, I guess. So this is actually detecting only one kind of a breed. Okay, I mean only one kind of the tree. Maybe we can name it as a coconut tree, for example. So it is just detecting only the coconut tree. So we can easily count how many coconut trees are there in the particular region. Maybe that would help certain people. And change detection. Okay, very, very important. Okay. We can't stand on a particular place and we can't just simply relay the mechanism, machines or the instrumentations to detect certain changes happening in the global. It is not possible. Okay. Even with the help of some instrumentation and readings, the instrumentation taking, it would be very difficult to predict the changes, what has happened, as well as it would be difficult to predict the changes, what would happen, what is going to be happen. Okay. So AI made everything so simple because AI is all about intelligence. Intelligence prediction. Okay. It predict with intelligence. Whatever happened already or whatever about to happen, it just helping out there. Okay, so here this is all about some IZ regions. So certain years before we have IZ here, but after some years we don't have the IZ here. Okay. So no one knew the AI system got into the data. We just given the data, got into the data, analyze it frame by frame, finally figure out, see, this is the exact change happening between this timeline. Exact changes happening between this timeline. Maybe after 10 years, this is the exact change going to be happen. Okay, just like that, it will give the idea that would definitely benefit the people lot and lot. Okay. And climate change studies, very, very important, right? And every day we are getting warned regarding the climate, regarding the dust, regarding the pollution, regarding everything about our environment, right? So how is this possible? How they are predicting? How they are predicting what would happen in the afternoon by morning? How they are doing it? Forecasting is nowadays getting intelligence due to AI. Okay, we just need the data. We just need the current data as well as the past data. Based on that, AI would predict what would happen in future. Okay, we have to apply it with geospatial data. That's it. And problem is simple. Yes, people. Now, crop monitoring and agriculture. So here we have a drone. We are using satellites also. Okay. So we are detecting which region of the crop is healthy, which region of the crop is not healthy. Okay. So some farmers are having the these crop lands in acres and acres. Okay, maybe they are not having proper human resource to investigate every day about the health happening. Okay, so they can relay these techniques. And water resource management, very, very important. So this is kind of understanding the variation of the water streams, water current variations, okay, happening under the ground as well as on the surface, helping a lot. And infrastructure planning and management. Infrastructure planning and management. This is like creating a complete new city on a wasteland. Imagine creating a complete new city on a wasteland. So you don't need peoples to investigate each and every blocks. So you have to give the existing city blocks. Based on that, AI would come to know, okay, this is the geography, this is the land, and this is the exact portion nowadays, and people are happy. Okay, we have to show them the new land. it will give you the exact plan. Depends upon the geography, where we want the buildings, where we want the drainage, where we want the deposit, everything. Okay, AI will predict, AI will give you the right plan, everything. So this is coming under GIS also, because the data is related to remote sensing. Okay, and energy and mining, very very important, people. So everywhere people are digging the ground and getting the resources. How they are doing it, how they are predicting it. Okay, so how they are checking the inflation happening out there, I mean the surplus again as well as non-surplus, how they are predicting, due to AI, due to the data processing, as well as AI intelligent prediction is working a lot and lot here. So all the different problem statements we can do with the help of AI. Okay? With the help of AI, and there are more. There are more. Okay, we could tell more than 100 problem statements out there. Okay, in remote sensing, I mean GIS, we can tell more than 100 problem statements. Just imagine how I mean using AI, what all amazing things we can do. Okay, just imagine. And yeah, here I'm going to show you some proof, because I have been telling for the last three open sessions, okay, AI is good, good, good. People are doing a lot and lot, but I haven't given any proof, right? Better proof. So I'm giving you the proof. See, it's a recent publication, 29 April 2023, Springer link. See the title, using satellite images and deep learning to measure health and living standards in AI. Satellite images are there. Satellite images, using satellite images. How experts are predicting health and living standards. Okay, see. So this is not about geography. This is about our living standard. Now, satellite, this is with MDPI. This is also reasoned one. Okay. Satellite image categorization using scalable deep learning. Very, very recent paper. Then this is with PubMed, Medical Society. Automatic target detection from satellite imagery using machine learning. I don't know what target they are meaning here, but machine learning is there, satellite imagery is there. Okay. There must be something fruitful. Okay. So these are the three interesting proof people I want to show you. So you have to admit, this is the field nowadays growing like anything, AI, and GIS has been there with us. But all of a sudden, GIS is getting benefit with AI nowadays, and everyone need a person who knows AI with GIS. AI with GIS. Okay. Even whoever already with GIS looking to learn AI so that they can produce some project, they can prove in their society, in their company, they are quality enough to do AI applications. Okay, this is how the trend is changing nowadays. Okay, you have to admit that. And yeah, so this is with our open session, people. So what we have done today, we started with the introduction to GIS, remote sensing. So how exactly GIS and remote sensing differs than satellite image, sorry, space exploration. That's what we checked. Then we got into geospatial data types, raster and vector. Then we got into satellite imagery types, panchromatic, multispectral, hyperspectral, SAR, LIDAR. Okay. Then we got into this satellite imagery indices. Okay. Then we got into AI, how AI is helping data science, as well as the data comes from satellite imagery to produce smart applications, okay, which is helping our own existence. Okay, and I have given three proofs. There are plenty to cover, plenty to cover. Okay, I don't know. Okay, yeah, and Now I'm going to give a quick idea about what I'm going to cover in our training program. So session one, there will be 9 sessions. Each session is about 2 hours. 2 hours. Session one is where I'm going to cover. I will give the quick introduction about what is about satellite imagery. Maybe the new people would come. Okay. So orientation. Then we quickly jump into Python. Python is where we start with data structures, functions, loops, very, very important. Then session two is where we are dealing with some packages, very, very important basic packages, NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, SciPy. I will cover GeoS Pandas also there. Then session three is where we are starting with raster and vector data formats. How to deal with these two different data formats using Python. So we will use rasterio package here. We will use JIDAL package here. Okay. The session four is all about hyperspectral and multispectral image analysis using Python. Okay, just to stand with hyperspectral and multispectral, nothing else in this session using Python. Here we use spectral packages as well as we try out one satellite imagery indices portion also. Then session 5 is all about introducing machine learning and quickly how we can pre-process the satellite imagery data because we are here dealing with classical machine learning approaches. And session 6 is all about the data we pre-processed in the session 5, how to use it in a supervised machine learning approaches to do satellite imagery classification. Okay, here we do learned cover classification. Learned cover classification. Then session 7 is about introduction to deep learning and computer vision. All the basics. Okay, I will give in a concise manner. And session 8 is where we start our capstone project, change detection. Okay, I'm not going to reveal the secret. What I am going to exactly give you here. Okay, the change detection using deep learning approaches from scratch, okay, on a multispectral data or hyperspectral data. I'm not going to reveal the secret. It's really interesting project, a capstone project. So it will be done in 2 sessions, and the final session, I will once the project is done, I will recap everything and I will give you how you can carry this basic knowledge forward, okay, forward in your career. How you have to extend this research, extend this work into booming level to shape yourself a good career, and how much we will support you till the end. Okay, so those informations I will give you in the last session. So this is how I planned my entire working sessions. So yeah, so I guess this is all about uh, our today's session from me. And yeah, so I have to hand over the session to Arjit for himself to say about some plans about the courses. Okay. So once that is done, session is open for QA. Okay. Yeah. Carry on. Arjit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah. So guys, as you have gone through this whole session, this can be considered as a demo session for the satellite imagery course, which is coming. Like this is the second course, which is coming from the 19th of August. Okay. So this is the course in which you are going to learn everything which sir has discussed in the previous slide. Okay, and we have also launched a special Python masterclass, Python, in which we will be covering the Python for the space application, like including the hands-on learning. Okay, and all the basic fundamentals of Python. Okay, so these courses are live and you can just enroll, and yeah, few of you have already enrolled who are present here. So yeah, these courses are live, and if you need any financial assistance, you can just mail to us. Okay, you can mail to us at Resolute Lab at the gmail.com. Okay, we will surely help you in any of the financial assistance you need. Okay, And apart from it, uh, yeah, you can ask any question related to the courses or the session which the sir has just completed. Okay. Yeah, guys, if you have any question, you can ask it. The session is open now.